So a sideways market is the worst environment for most investors. I think you'd agree. The dividend investor is waiting for price appreciation that literally isn't coming. The growth investor is watching a flat line while their thesis ages. Even the standard wheel operators selling covered calls is collecting really modest premiums on a stock that really isn't going anywhere and feeling like the strategy is really stuck in neutral. But a sideways range-bound market is actually, in my opinion, one of the most best environments for specific setups that most option sellers either don't really know or they're too cautious to run it. So it lets you collect premium from both sides of the stock simultaneously. It's called a covered strangle. And when the conditions are right, it's honestly one of the most capital efficient trades available. Okay. So let me kind of like talk about the structure here before explaining when and why it really makes sense, for a portfolio. So a standard covered call obviously means you own 100 shares of a stock and you sell one call option above the current price, right? You collect some premium up front. If the stock rises through the strike, the shares get called away. If it stays flat or it declines, obviously you keep the premium and the shares. Fantastic. A covered strangle adds a second leg onto this. You also sell a cash secured put below the current price at the same time. Now you're collecting premium from two options simultaneously, one above the stock price and one below it. The position has three components: the 100 shares you own, a short call above the market, and a short put below the market, okay? The shares cover the call obligation. You already own what you have to deliver, right? The cash you hold as collateral covers obviously the put obligation. You should already have the capital to buy more shares if you actually get assigned. Now, what makes this a covered strangle rather than a naked strangle is that both sides are fully backed. You're not speculating with leverage. We don't do that here. You're running two fully collateralized obligations simultaneously on a stock that you already own and you want to continue, buying more into. The setup only makes sense under a specific condition though, and that condition is the entire framework of this. The covered strangle works when you believe a stock is range bound, that over the next 30 to 45 days is unlikely to make a significant move in either direction. The stock might drift up or down modestly, but it's not setting up for a breakout in either direction based on what the current markets are doing. When that's true, you're essentially getting paid by both ends of the market's uncertainty. The call buyer is obviously paying you for the possibility that the stock rallies above your strike price, and the put buyer is paying you for the possibility the stock falls below your strike. If neither event materializes, if the stock literally does what you thought and stays roughly flat, both options expire worthless and you keep both of the premiums. Fantastic. The risk that changes this calculation is a sharp move in either direction. If the stock rallies hard, the call is going to get exercised and you sell your shares at the call strike, which is a fine outcome. Just let's say not a maximum one, right? If the stock drops hard, you get assigned more shares at the put strike, which means you now own twice as many shares at a combined cost basis that may be above your current one. The second outcome is the one really worth understanding carefully before you actually run this thing, okay? So let's talk about the math a little bit here. So here's kind of like an example to hammer at home to show you the premium efficiency here. So say you own 100 shares of a quality dividend stock at $50. The stock has been trading between 47 and 53 for 3 months, right? IV is moderate. Let's say it's around 22%, and you believe the range holds for the next 30 days. Let's say you sell a $54 covered call, you collect $75, you sell the $47 put for $65, total premium $140 on the position. A standard covered call on the same stock at $54 strike would have generated $75 in premium. The strangle nearly doubles that income for literally the same exact holding period on the same exact stock. The additional $65 comes from adding the put leg, which requires $4,700 in cash collateral to back up that obligation. So the full capital at work, $5,000 in shares plus $47 in put collateral for a total of $9,700. At $140 in premium, that's roughly 1.5% for the cycle, or around 70% annualized on total capital. Not maximum return on any single component, but strong efficiency across combined capital. So let's talk about what happens in each outcome. If the stock closes between 47.54 at expiration, the range that you actually expected, both options obviously expire worthless. You keep the $140, you still own your 100 shares, and then you just rinse and repeat for the next cycle. If the stock closes above 54, your call is exercised. Your 100 shares are called peeled away at 54. You realize a $4 per share gain on the stock plus the $140 in premium. The put expires worthless, and that's a clean, profitable exit from a position, in my opinion. And if the stock closes before $47, the put is assigned. You buy 100 more shares at 47. Now you own 200 shares, the original 100 plus the new 100. Your average cost across both, depends on what you paid for the original shares, but on the new lot, you've bought at 47 with $65 in premium already collected, making your effective cost $46.35 a share. The call expires worthless. So the third scenario is the key risk to size around. Essentially, you're doubling your position in a stock that just declined. If you're only willing to own 100 shares of this stock, a covered strangle is the wrong structure. You need to be genuinely comfortable owning 200 shares at the combined cost basis before you add that put leg. Now let's talk about the stock selection. This matters more than any other variable here. The covered strangle should only be run on stocks that you'd want to own more of at a lower price. Quality dividend payers, broad index funds, ETFs, businesses with durable fundamentals and a history of range-bound price behavior. These are the candidates. High IV stocks with binary risk events, recently IPO'd companies, anything with, let's say, a pending catalyst, that could resolve sharply. These, in my opinion, are not. The put leg of a covered strangle is still a cash secured put. All the same selection discipline still applies here. The covered call wrapping around it doesn't change what you're obligating yourself to actually buy. The covered strangle is not a way to manufacture premium from literally nothing. It's a way to fully utilize the capital that you're already holding in cash alongside a stock position that's sitting flat. Most people that run the wheel strategy with assigned shares hold collateral for new put positions in idle cash. In a range-bound environment on a stock that you want to own more of anyway, that cash can earn put premium and interest while the shares earn call premium, literally simultaneously on the same underlying stock for literally the same exact cycle. Now, the psychological shift required is from the, I'm running a covered call to I'm running a position across two dimensions. The stock you own can earn from upside, right? The cash you hold can earn from downside. When the stock does nothing, both dimensions pay you a nice premium. But what collapses this advantage is a strong directional move, okay? The covered strangle is not a direction neutral strategy. It's kind of a range neutral strategy. If your read on the stock turns out to be wrong and it makes a significant move, one of those legs will create a result that requires management. That outcome needs to be pre-planned, not improvised in the moment. I got some questions for you guys in the comments. Always great ones down there. Have you ever run a covered strangle, or have you been running covered calls and sitting on idle cash that could have been working a little bit harder for you? And number two, which part of this structure gives you the most pause, right? The doubled position risk on a put assignment or something else? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you're interested in taking this all a step further, I have a 90-minute workshop called the Ark Options Strategy. The link will be the first one in the description of today's video. At the end of that training, I also give you my 2 premium calculators as well as my full trade log template. So make sure you attend that training, especially if you're just getting started with all this stuff. And remember, guys, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.